of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Because the man of the Lord is ready to pass forth into the next life. All for nothing, all or nothing at all.
That's right.
You know, and people who don't have that faith, they can't do. I don't care how powerful they get. I don't care how much, you know, they into so-called religion or into politics or anything. They have a breaking point.
Yeah.
You know.
And those who try to stand up in those arenas,
they get swamped down. Swamped down because the situation is not written for them. Just like the Constitution of the United States of America was not written for the African Americans, nor the Native American Indians, nor any of the third world people coming into this country. It was written for the Caucasian Americans that came from England, that took over this country. That's why they can call African Americans three-fifths of a man, and that's why they can say in the preamble of the Constitution of the United States of America that this is for the law and order of their people, for the safety and security of their people, and for their children.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
And their children, many times, and when you touched on a little something earlier, this conversation about in the educational process itself now, how the divisions between what the urban children learn compared to the children in the suburbs.
That's racism in action.
In action, right there. You know.
Anytime you have teachers coming from out of the environment that they coming in to teach, then you have a problem there. Right. You know, I live somewhere. I have, you know, homes in different places, but I live somewhere where my children experience prejudice, you know, from other African Americans, bourgeois as we call them. You know what I'm saying? The haves, the middle class, upper middle class, and what have you. And because I refuse to turn my children into puppets for the society. Right. You know, my thing is, I gotta teach them the truth that I came to learn. I suffered to learn it. And some of my children suffer to learn as well because they ignore me just like other children. They ignore their parents. Right. That's a normal habit. But some of them they ignore and they suffer to learn and they turn back. You know. But it's the mentality. You know? Right. Every African American is not an African American in mind. Right. You understand? Now, like this word nigger that these brothers has fought to get the people penalized for using. And we know that African Americans use that word on a regular. And that word to us, to African Americans, don't mean the same as it means to somebody else. Right. You know, if somebody else called an African American nigger, then it's an offense. But if we call each other, it's like brother saying brother. You know. Now, I'm not flagging up for that word, but we know that if that word, if people are truly penalized for that, then it'll be African Americans getting penalized for it. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But why is it that they would work on that word and not work on the things that come right through to the television set that's killing our children? Right. That's coming through the radio that's killing our children. They worry about nigger. The least of things is all. The least of things, man. Come on, nigga, please, as they say. You know, like I said, it is funny because our leaders, some of the black political leaders, if they're going to fight for true justice, then if you're going to fight for this cause, then why not go from the top down instead of from the bottom up, as they always do? It's well, like, they following their leaders. They following their leaders, their masters. See, one thing about our people, man, African Americans, they will get together and they will march to Washington, they will march and they'll, you know, protest and they'll do everything they can just so that they can lock arms with Caucasians and other people.
Right.
But that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know? See, the thing, they try to make it seem like we're counter racist, so to speak, when
Yeah.
we talk about separation and education
Right.
and peace.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you know, like, the Lord Most High provides that if you want to marry into another race of people, then by all means, do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's better to marry amongst your own.
No, right.
Now, the Lord is all wise. It said that for a reason. There's nothing wrong with marrying of another race,
Right.
but there's problems that will come
Yeah.
when you do it, and there's something more relative to you if you don't, if you marry amongst your own. For instance, throughout my life, in my involvement with women, girls, opposite sex, I've always been inclined to Native African Americans. Native Americans or African Americans with Native American in them, blood.
That's right.
And I didn't understand why.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
I was always spiritually inclined to them,
Right.
regardless of their level of mentality.
Right.
But I came to understand why. I had so much Native American in me,
Right.
and African American, and I have the spirit of them. You feel me?
Mhm.
And
Okay.
somewhere down the line, I think I got Chinese. I've been told,
Probably, yeah.
you know, that I have some Chinese there, you know.
Mhm.
But the natural inclination
Okay.
of a person is to come to their own.
Right.
They say opposites attract. That's not fully true.
Right.
You know, but who told them that opposites attract? Some evil person said opposites attract. Opposites it might attract in curiosity,
Right.
but naturally, sameness attracts.
Right.
You know, come on, look at every arenas. You know, if you go to a place where you have people separated
Right.
by race, and watch the people that come in and see where they're inclined to go sit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. They proved that little test is by people in society. You know, people of all different races together. They're actually drawn to the same thing. If the Chinese just happen to gravitate toward the Chinese, the Africans. Because it's a natural
But when you point this out, then they call you a troublemaker.
troublemaker. Right.
You know, just like we had the Pope some years ago call all the people, all the religious leaders
Oh,
together.
yeah.
But it was certain religious leaders, it wasn't all the religious leaders.
Right.
Call them, all these leaders together, and you had them of all the different religions going to Rome to kiss the hand of this man.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it looked good for those who don't know.
Yeah.
You know, oh, we're going to unify religions. Then 3 or 4 days after they left, the Pope says, see, Catholicism has always been the religion. Okay, now, in that statement, he put down every one of them guys that came and kissed his hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He put down their religion.
I call it the old backhanded compliment.
I like that.
Yeah, you know.
Backhanded compliment.
Smack in the face, but we still on top.
But we still on top.
Yeah.
And what did they accomplish? You know?
There's no coming together. As you can see, the religions now have not even come together. So
You know, this problem that we have with the youth in the street, man, the Lord has cursed the people as a whole
yeah.
because they've turned from the covenant, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they're allowing things to be brought into normalcy. You see, homosexuality is a normal thing now. You
Yeah.
understand? People don't understand what's normal. Normal is what's average.
Right.
Okay? And so it's an average thing that's going on out here. And you think about it, you know, when did the Lord send a prophet to say it's all right?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, all right, it's all right, homosexuality is all right. Think about what homosexuals do,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, where's the solid base, the family values?
Yeah.
You got men marrying and trying and adopting children. Now they taking these children and raising these children. Women marrying each other and they adopting children and raising these children. And you know and I know that it takes a man and a woman to raise a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
You understand? A woman can't raise a boy to be a man. So we go further and further into homosexuality, into confusion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And that's one of the things that the children see today, that they might be backlashing from their fighting. You know, the lifestyle, the home. They have torn up this society of instead of trying to build up, they have actually torn down the basic family structure. The mother, father, you know, the children, the nucleus, the nucleus of the family life. And at the same time, now they've implemented this, what you said now, this man and man and woman and woman. Now the chaos is going to spread even wider.
It's going to get worse.
But at the same time, you institute an educational process in the schools.
Because you got homosexuals teaching the children and they saying certain things, they doing certain things, and they speak outside the curriculum because that's human nature.
Right.
You go to school to teach, you going to just talk about the 3 R's. You may say some things to the children, and your whole mindset in terms of trying to keep control of the children is coming from your mindset.
Right.
You know? So where your mindset coming from? You know? And it's a lot of things, man. But, you know, I look at that, I look at homosexuality in terms of being in disorder. The same as, you know, having an overabundance of other things that may give you an imbalance.
That's right.
You know, like drugs and alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And the Lord said there's some good in wine, but there's also bad.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
And if you become an extremist in certain, most things, it can hurt you, you know?
Right.
Now, I think that if, you know, you choose to be a homosexual, well and good. You know, but keep that away from the society.
Right.
Come on. Keep it away from the people.
Right.
Why you want to spread this thing? Because the more the merrier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The more the merrier. I can take my choices. We can have all this disorder. We can just be gay and have so much fun, so much laughter, and just live. Because what? You only live once, you know? But see, what about when you pass on to the next life and you find out that you don't only live once, you live many times. You know?
That's right.
Because, you know, I mean, I heard some people say that there's Islamic homosexual orders, and I heard people say that some of the prophets were homosexuals.
Yeah, I heard that.
And they try to take the word love and turn it into meaning sex, like saying one of the prophets loved another man. You know, when like I love you, what the heck? That don't mean I'm sexing you.
Right.
You know, and they misconstrued that, you know, and they've changed different things in the dictionary, they added things into the dictionary to make it coincide with what's going on in society. I mean, the madness is out here, and then they look at the children, and they say they're so bad. Well, the children is going astray too. The children looking at all the madness, and they doing their thing, and they like children like a sponge. They can look at TV, man, and see that this is the problem with the elders whose parents might have just kept them into the 3 R's and then give them a scoop of life.
Right.
You know, some education about life. They be, you know, theater, television, radio is very impressionable. So the children get that, and then they go wild with it. You know, so they're equally out of order. Like the elders are equally out of order. But they're out of order because they're immature, end up in death, in great violence. You feel what I'm saying? But how much violence is being done on a subliminal scale by the people in the media and by the people who's going out of order with this thing about homosexuality?
And that's what I was talking before. Those in the political arena, they don't go to the top down to get better programming or better thing that to truly bring our children to a balance and thing. But it's got to always go back to the home. Like you touched on something the program previous ago about one of the things that their society has done have got the parents so busy. They don't have time for themselves.
Oh, they did that.
They do the children so busy. All this homework back so heavy now. The children are being weighed down with books, so they don't have time for themselves.
Right.
And then when they do have time, it's dealing in the games of
They
the
don't have time for spirituality.
spirituality, right?
See, that's the whole thing.
Right.
Take the parents and force them into educating the children with the 3 R's.
Right.
They give them so much book homework that they ain't got time to sit down and talk to them about other meaningful things.
Right.
Right? And the children way down, you got clear across the country, children got back problems. We have
Yeah.
so many books.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, it's a shame, it should be a law against it. How they weigh these children down like mules with these books. And
Right.
how they burn them out with all this homework.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mhm.
And they just pile this information on them as though they're gonna need all this information that they have, that they're attaining.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? All this imbalance. Now, they got the parents, they charge the parents and make them say they're bad parents and they're
Yeah.
not right if they don't help them with their homework. A lot of these parents ain't even educated.
No.
You understand?
Mhm.
So they get parents involved and then the teachers are not doing what they need to do because
Yeah,
they got so much work that they're ordered to give these children. So they can't teach it all. They send all this homework home to them, right?
Mhm.
And then you got the mental disorders, teachers
Yeah.
with mental disorder,
Yeah.
teaching these children, teachers coming from other environments, not knowing these children, not being able to
Yeah.
relate to them, trying to make a ghetto child, a suburban child,
Yeah.
you know, without giving them the suburban education from the cradle.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And without giving their parents equal money and
Mhm.
equal education
Right.
to survive under the so-called equal laws and orders.
Mhm.
You know, all that, man, it just, you know, you can't ignore it. It falls down. It's like the government said, we're going to clean up the streets. We're going to clean up drugs. We're going to lock up everybody selling drugs. And they lock up everybody they can find selling drugs, except the suppliers.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You
Exactly.
feel what I'm saying? Coming from, and then like in the state police academy, they ask you this question: if you caught your mother doing wrong, would you lock her up?
Yeah.
And they ask that question.
Mm.
You know, if you caught your parents doing wrong, would you lock them up? What kind of question is that? You know,
Yeah.
if when I was asked that question, if I could turn it around, I asked them, what would you do? Would
Yeah.
you lock them up? Because the right answer for here is yes. I'd lock them up.
Right.
But what's the right answer for you in real life? Oh, you might just give them a warning where you would lock mine up.
Right.
You give your pass a warning off to yours
Yeah.
and lock mine up. How many African Americans you seen come out of from an arrest of a menial thing that's handcuffed by law, handcuffed?
Yeah.
Then you see the Caucasians in certain situations come out walking and
Yeah.
don't embarrass them. The cops even covering their heads for them.
Yeah.
You know, doing, because it's not a thing where I'm angry about that, but I understand that. That's their brother, their
Yeah.
cousin,
Mhm.
their relative, their
Right.
kinsman,
Mhm.
huh?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you know, we need equality in education and government and what have you on the real side.
Right.
And they need to bring the Lord back in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
They need to bring the Lord back into the presidency. They need to bring the truth back, and they need to stop allowing people to desecrate the holy words, man, and add their own. But that's something here we go to the impossibilities again. It's impossible for the devil to be good. You understand what I'm saying? And
Right.
the devil is running the ship, and like the Lord said to me, all these things is going down out here in the world, only it can stop it. So
Right.
they can keep running around, ignoring the message that I brought, you
Right.
know, and think that they're going to find the answers in the answers that they've always had.
Yeah.
You remember that old saying about a lock being put on the door is only there for an honest person?
Yeah.
Only an honest man ain't going to go through a locked door.
Right.
That lock is put up there for an honest man, a thief or an evil man. Oh, if he want to get in, he gonna get in.
Mhm.
You know? And that's the way society is set up. For good people. You go out, man, many times, man, you see the police, they run down good people.
Yeah.
They run them down. Give them tickets for many things, you know. But then you got these heavy lawbreakers, and they fly by, and they look at them. You see things, man, that you don't even want to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's a natural happening, man. And then you get, like Newark, for instance, fell back in '67. Why did it fall?
Yeah.
Police brutality, bad government,
Yeah.
Disorder in social welfare situations,
Yeah.
complete disorder. People being treated bad by the social welfare departments, and I'm not just talking about the Department of Social Welfare where they give food, I'm talking about the educational department.
Right.
Because all that social and it's for the welfare of people.
Right.
You understand? So we had so much social disorder from the top.
Yeah.
Now, they've made changes, and here comes the social disorder coming back from the very people, the children of the very people who was being victimized. Now they creating the social disorder. Why? Because people do not want to turn and surrender to the truth of the Lord's agreement that is sent down for mankind.
So that's one of the, as I was about to say, that's one of the solutions that
That's the only
solution that we can address,
It's the only solution that's gonna save us, man, as a people,
Right.
I mean, I know that there's still people out there running around, that guy crazy, that guy got a scheme going, that guy, he called himself a messenger prophet of the Lord, yeah, right, But, my thing is basically, well, all I can do is deliver the message.
Yeah.
And leave it at that.
Right.
And go on and try to help in ways that the Lord allows me to help, and now we're trying to call out to the people. Most people don't know that I called the president. One of the first people I called was the president to announce my presence here in the United States of America. They're not aware of that in Congress and the senators, and House of Representatives, and then filtered all that down. They don't know that they've turned the people in power have turned a deaf ear to me, but have also sent their agents out to try to do me harm and try to do my people harm. The people don't know that.
Yeah.
And they think, I guess, you got some like, the lowlifes that was coming, talking all this crazy talk about me, thinking they could threaten me.
Right.
And here they are on the lower level, don't know about what I've already gone through on the higher level.
Right.
And don't realize that the Lord is alive. Ahezaah, Allah, is alive.
Yeah.
Christ is alive. Christ is here. And even with that, when we say Christ, they think Jesus.
Yeah.
Because things have been so misconstrued, so turned upside down, inside out. Somebody said something to me, man. I hate to even repeat it, man. I have to check it out, But some guy was walking around here talking about Farrakhan was turning to Christianity. Did you hear anything like that? You see the phone bells go off when I say that,
Yeah.
But man, if that's true,
yeah.
that's something to think about. But he was telling this Muslim woman, he's seen the light. You need to see the light too, But they don't understand that all the religions have gone astray. All of them, have gone astray, and the dictates of man is leading in the religious philosophy now.
Definitely.
And even in Islam, where they've taken the words and sayings of men who said that Muhammad said, and they got this through so many people, they've taken that and they put that ahead or equal with the Holy Quran, the Lord's words himself.
Right.
So it's like, it's a bad happening out there, man. And it's bad when you can take your religion, you got gang members that say, well, I'm Muslim, and but they got the gangs.
Yeah.
They Muslims and they got their orders, and they mixing, and it's like a solution, and people don't want to, I know people don't want to hear this, but the solution is that we need a new church.
Yeah. That's true. As I see it as you're stating that they're taking what the Lord has sent down and said that they, they're trying to mix God and mammon, so to speak. They're trying to make it something like oil and water. They're trying to make it fit.
Right.
Fits. It only creates a greater problem now.
Yes.
Because if you want to have that, then where would you stand as striving to be righteous or be of the whole, to be of the good? Then if you go, okay, if I can go that way, then curb this a little bit. And the devil always wanted this, that little half an inch to turn off the path, and then he got you. But these young people are looking for something to have hope in again.
Well, they fast to say, I don't believe in no religion, I don't want to hear.
Oh, yeah.
And that's because that was part of the problem.
Yeah.
You get Christianity going against Islam, Islam going against Judaism, Judaism going against everything else, and and then the youth looking at it, and that's a problem.
Right.
How come the religions can't agree? Because the devil got men wanting to worship other men.
Right.
Jesus' Lord, Muhammad's Lord, Abraham's Lord was not a man. Unless you understand the fact that man means mind.
Mind, that's right.
The Lord is a mind, and it's a supreme mind. The reality of it for us is a mind. But it is even beyond that. It's unknown of something that we could never know.
Right.
And that's not its messengers.
Right.
And see, the messengers of the Lord is not just men.
Right.
The messengers to humanity is of men and angels.
That's right.
But by the same token or by the same truth, the messenger to every creature is of those creatures and angels.
Right.
But people don't even look that far. So men go and say we the cream of creation, of all creation, we the best of all creation.
Yeah.
And we the center of all creation. That was like when people thought that Earth was the center of the universe. Come to find out, wasn't even the center of the galaxy. You feel what I'm saying? And you got men actually thinking that they are the best of creation when creation is so endless, man. So out there. You know what I mean? How could you even think that you're the best? When Abraham himself or Solomon said, didn't say study man to become wise.
Right.
Said study the ants. So is the ants better at wisdom than us? Or better at submission to wisdom than us?
Right.
It's something to think about.
Yeah.
One
thing we want to point out while we have your mind on this program about our Urban Peace Day event coming up on July 4th. We are calling to those who truly want to get involved with a real endeavor that can call all of us together in unity, peace, love, and hope, and back to family. So it's going to take everybody's part in this. So we make an appeal to you. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach us at Third House, that is THIRD, HOUSSE at yahoo.com, or at Third House 2, that is THIRD, HOUSSE2 at yahoo.com, or at MySpace page, www.myspace.com/Third House, or you can reach on this program in A.H.A.D moment, ANAHAD MOMENT at yahoo.com.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?